Good evening, everyone. Before we begin our presentation, we'd just like to take a quick poll. So could I have a show of hands for anyone who has seen a doctor in the past 12 months? Oh, good. Everyone, nice and healthy. So, it's not good. Good for health. So next, when you're with your doctor, did you think, is this the best doctor for me? Or maybe is there someone out there who would be better able to suit my needs? Good. So when you were also there in the waiting room, did you think, are they going to bulk me? Am I going to be lucky? Am I going to be bulk billed today? Or are they going to charge me out of pocket? Exactly. So it is these questions that prompted me and my business partner, Emily, to develop our business idea.
Thanks, Jackie. So as Jackie has alluded to, the Australian health system is difficult to navigate and it's complex for patients. Basically, there's a lack of transparency and there's a lack of available knowledge on the healthcare providers out there. This means that Australians aren't able to easily find the practitioner that's best suited to their needs. So let me introduce you to Health Advisor. Health Advisor is a one-stop shop website that contains all the information on available health practitioners out there. It's like TripAdvisor for the health system. This information would be things like location, hours, areas of specialty, languages spoken, and importantly, pricing information. Furthermore, Health Advisor will allow patients to rate their interactions with health professionals so that other patients can make informed decisions when spending money on the most important health commodity there is, our health. We want to improve transparency in the healthcare system and enable patients to find the best practitioner for them. So let's take a look at the health marketplace. It's an exciting time in the health marketplace, which grew on average over the last 5 years, almost 5%. And this accounts for about 10% currently of our national GDP. And expenditure is projected to more than double over the next 40 years. With increasing utilisation rates driven by increased demand and expectations, we're well poised to make a market entry with this service. So let's look at a competitor analysis. Currently, the comprehensive services offered by Health Advisor are not available in Australia. And a find a practitioner service on some other websites is secondary to their primary purpose, so none are dedicated search services. This means our unique value proposition is consolidated information not currently available on health practitioners, a rating system, and pricing information. We envisage that all Australians will be interested in our product, or all Australians who attend a health practitioner, so basically all Australians. However, we foresee the young adult market as being a particularly useful target segment to target in the initial stages of our launch due to their mobility. They're moving for education, for careers, out of home, so to new locations and looking for new providers. We conducted a survey of a sample from our target market and 91% said they would be interested in our service. So from this market analysis, we can see that Health Advisor is both timely and necessary for Australia. And now I'll pass over to Jackie to take you through some of the business details.
Thank you, Em. So onto our revenue model, we've adopted a two-pronged revenue generation approach, and the first one is advertising. So we would have people where we would charge a fee for them to advertise on our website, and the kind of clientele we'll be looking to advertise would be those that appeal to our target market. Additionally, we would look at employing brokers such as Google AdSense and also partnering with people that have a vested interest such as insurance companies and the Consumer Health Forum. In a more of a longer term kind of view, we're looking at a freemium model, so that's additional features on top of the free aspect. And this would be aimed at doctors as a value add for them, and it would be subscription based, and we would look to employ it when we reach critical mass users. So moving on to financial projections, we looked at the current market data available and did a little bit of research, and we came up with 3 key milestones. So milestone 1 is by the end of year 1, we want to attract and retain 1% of the Sydney population. Doesn't sound like much, but it's about 50,000 people. Milestone 2 is year 2, we aim to onboard 5% of Sydney doctors as paying subscribers. And milestone 3 is that by the end of year 5, we want to onboard 10% of the national doctor population and have 5% of the national patient base as regular users. We also undertook some cost analysis, and we view this, and we broke it down into its critical elements, but we view it as a consistently evolving kind of beast, and it will change as our project develops. So meeting the team, I'm Jackie, this is Emily, and we both have a passion for creating a positive social impact in the health industry through innovative ideas. we can offer, we bring to the table like crazy skill sets, so lots of knowledge and experience in health and business. And as our business develops, we're going to look to fill our skill gaps that we have. So roadmap, what the road ahead lies. We have short, medium and long-term goals we believe will pave the path to our success and lead our business to be a rising star.
Thanks, Jackie. So in conclusion, we aim for Health Advisor to be the preeminent service that enables Australians to connect to the health practitioner that's most suited to them and be informed when spending their money on the most important commodity is our health. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a huge market you're taking on. I like the way you're sort of approaching it. It sounds really interesting what you're doing. I have a couple of questions really, and one of them comes to one comment you made that doctors will be paying for their surgery to appear on there. I'm guessing you're expecting them to pay to enter their data. But the third thing I thought was interesting is if they're paying, won't they want to control the comments that are displayed by people that appear on the website? So how are you going to manage that conflict?
Thanks. Do you want to?
Or we can both take it.
Okay, so just to clarify, the freemium model is paying so that they can respond to comments. So it gives them an opportunity to say they've got a negative review, they can then give their side. It's not to appear on our website, just to clarify. So it removes that conflict of interest.
Yeah, and in terms of appealing to doctors, you might kind of think, oh, it's a bit counterintuitive, you know, why are they going to pay to, you know, have people judge them effectively? But our business also has another side to the value proposition we've developed, which is aimed at doctors. So the three kind of things we believe that we will offer them in value is they can improve their brand. So right now, you know, your GP is your GP, you don't think there's anything particularly special about your GP, like that's cool. But, you know, we're going to offer them the ability, you know, if they have a particular field of interest, they could publish papers, put it on the website and, you know, just kind of push like, okay, this is my field that I'm interested in, you know, and make a name for themselves rather than being like the next GP that's, you know, the next one down the road. Additionally, as Emily said, it offers an opportunity for engagement, and then on top of that, it allows them to do a little bit more messaging around what services they have. They can personalize their page, make it not advertising because there's a lot of regulations around that, but just put down what services they have if they have any allied health professionals there. So it also offers them value.
Yeah, just crucially to pull out, doctors cannot legally advertise in Australia at the moment, so this offers them a vehicle to put their brand out there legally.
Thank you both. I wanted to ask, so just two things. One, you've got some really ambitious, which I love, but ambitious first year goals of getting 50,000 people onto it. What's your plan for reaching them? I mean, what channels, and also how many, have you thought about the conversion rates through your funnel? How many people do you have to sort of see it, click through, download, etc., use again? So have you sort of had a look at that and thought about which channels to move through? And also with the rating, is there a risk, and I don't know, is there a risk of people rating health professionals on the wrong thing because they don't actually know how to rate a health professional, because that's, you know, why we have doctors? And could there be implications of doctors actually changing their behaviours, not for the good of the patient, but for the good of reviews? Sorry, two questions there.
Sure, well, should we answer the first one? First question first? Yeah, so to answer your first question, so the three main ways that we're looking to drive traffic to our website. First of all, whilst creating our website, we'll generate content to generate interest before launching. So that will get some interest out there. Second of all, we have our first initial target market is the young adults, so we'll aggressively target them and have established networks. I'm from Canberra, Jackie's from Sydney, across several universities, so we'll look to use our established networks to get that out there. And we also have leverage our more broader networks in the health industry. You could see from our experience, we have a fair bit of experience with that, and also media contacts that we have. So that's going to all play into driving stuff to our website, as well as advertising with some beta testing, see what's most effective advertising models. And then to the second question, so you asked...
Just the implications of rating.
Sure.
The ratings, could it have unforeseen implications in terms of the doctor's behaviour? People really know how to rate.
So our rating system is something that we're currently developing, so the key things that we want to rate on. But research out there has shown that there are 4 key things that patients are disappointed by, so we're looking to model our kind of rating system around that with then an overall rating. So time, whether they were seen on time, talent, whether they felt that the doctor was able to fulfill their needs, trust, whether they felt they could trust the doctor, there was confidentiality, and TLC, so that's basically the intangible kind of holistic 10-11 care, whether they kind of a holistic rating. So we're looking to develop this model, and just for comparison, these are the 4 things that Rate MDs, which is the American competitor, not currently in Australia, rates their doctors on. But I think ultimately, using our rating system, it actually has the potential and the opportunity to help doctors get feedback for them to then improve the quality of care that they can deliver, which they're currently not really receiving, like good feedback. Yeah, tangible feedback.
Okay, thank you. And just going right back to the very start, we seem to have a problem. You got us all to answer your question there, and we all need to go to doctors, and we all seem to have a bit of an issue about understanding that. And I think we also, you sort of demonstrated we have an interest or a need for something like what you're offering. These are sort of the tests of an MVP, if you like. But the important one, though, is this also worth people getting off their backsides and doing something about it in terms of either it's doctor putting their details on or someone doing a review. And where I'm heading to is once this is up and running and fully loaded with content, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
So can you explain how you're going to get to there in terms of that content element?
Sure. Okay, so there are three main possible things that at the moment we've identified where we can get our information from, and with more research hopefully we'll identify other sources. So first source is AHPRA database, so all registered practitioners, or all practitioners have to be registered with AHPRA. Secondly, generating content through user information, so that's the pricing information and ratings. When they review their interactions, we'll ask a few simple questions to help populate our website with content. And lastly, kind of ripping off the information that's already out there on the internet. We'll have to figure out the best way to do this, but already out there, and then presenting it in a user-friendly format on our website. And obviously more research will hopefully reveal other sources.
Okay, thank you. Can I just throw one more thing in quickly? My doctor now uses a booking app, which I think is pretty... and have you thought about just somehow finding some way either to compete with it or jump on board or something? Because if you ask everyone who's had real trouble getting an appointment with a doctor, everyone will put their hand up.
Yeah, definitely. We have thought about that in our future options once it's all developed kind of thing. And we were thinking it could either be a complementary kind of thing. We come together with Health Engine, and together on their platform they can, show our services, and on our platform they can show both. So it will be a symbiotic kind of relationship. So we're definitely thinking about that's like the next logical step forward, because it's all very well and good to go out there, find your doctor, but if you can't book for them, then it kind of detracts away from the offering.
So definitely future expansion.
Absolutely.
Opportunity. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and we have 2 awards to give away for the Best Female Leaders. And the second award for Best Female Leader goes to Emily Sisson.